You got a knife on you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Welcome to Winging It Outdoors, where we buy clapped out push mowers and get frustrated. Well, that falling into the carburetor was probably not a good thing. If you don't mind holding that.
Oh, that carburetor looks nasty.
Oh yeah, she is, bud.
Holy, dude, it's not even in one piece. What the hell, bro?
Okay, stand back.
Okay.
Brace yourself.
Bracing.
Yeah, something sounds wrong in there all of a sudden.
It don't sound right. Well, that's definitely not what we wanted on a Sunday morning, trying to get our deer plot started. Granted, our equipment might not be the best, but we're gonna get it fixed and figured out. Yeah, we gotta definitely do some figuring out on this, see what we can do. And we were gonna do from here just a little plot, and then we were thinking, Caleb says the deer are coming from up here and they're moving up here and they're walking down this little easement here. A lot of thick timber around here. We were kind of thinking about our choices, and we look at that tree and we like that tree a lot to sit in with the saddle, but of course with the saddle you can sit anywhere. Down through here we're talking about, you know, right now we're not seeing a whole lot of action through here, but there is a lot of white oaks, good cover, and me personally, I like little stuff like this, just because whenever you're thinking about deer season and everything else, I personally believe this is kind of a safety spot for deer. It's got cover on both sides. You got good forestry right here, so it's going to be something that not necessarily they come to eat, but something that they can kind of browse on, little stuff as they come through here. Another thing is mock scrapes. Mock scrapes are a big deal right here, especially it being like a covered line. It's kind of what I look for when I think about mock scrapes and just scrapes in general. A lot of times those bucks and does, they'll try to cover one kind of line, and you'll see it pretty often if you find a good place where there's a lot of deer movement. They'll hit, especially these white oaks. Like if you come, maybe like, let's see, right here. You see this tree right here? This is gonna be perfect for a mock scrape. We'll clear that out a little bit right there. What those deer do is they'll come down through here and they'll hit that scrape. And the bucks, they'll rub their glands on these trees. We'll trim a little bit of those leaves off. I'll show you later on when we get there. But they'll hit stuff like that, and say you hit one there, and then you come here, you see another oak about right there, put another one there, and you just keep kind of following a good line and keep them. And that way you can almost make your deer move in the direction that you want them to go. So you're almost already predicting what they're going to do beforehand. And me personally, I like to think that's a good way to go about it. Have one step up on the deer. You know, they can be smart, they can always outplay you, but you got to have good hopes for it anyways. We just came down here to get a camera. Caleb's having some issues this morning.
I'm having issues with everything.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are what we call fire ants here in southern Oklahoma. So we got some thick timber in there. Pretty land.
I actually never noticed that boulder right there before. That'd be a perfect spot to sit, honestly.
Yeah, it really would. That would be a place that my papa would sit when I was younger. You know, I said it before, but when I was younger, my papa was the type, he smoked Marlboro Reds and wore brown coveralls and sat in a metal chair most of the time drinking coffee. And he killed more big deer than I have in my entire life. And I take it pretty seriously when it comes to camoing out and, you know, getting rid of your scent and being covered and everything. But it's kind of the weird thing between the generations, and it's a question of, sorry guys, I was leaning on the branch of my branch broke. But it's kind of a question, you know, of like, has the generation of hunters changed so much, or have we adapted to deer being smarter as they've evolved, and you know, the generations that have come along?
I think the whole camo aspect of it is blown way out of proportion.
Yeah,
I think if you want to come out, they say deer see blue the best. I think if you want to come out here in a blue shirt and blue jeans, that you can kill them just as good as the rest.
Yeah.
I think it's all about your movement. I think if your movement looks unnatural, whenever you're up in a stand, then the deer are going to notice that.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not scented up properly or hunting the wind perfect, then you're going to get blown at.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to spook that deer. You got to think, we're going into their living rooms, kitchens, bathrooms, backyards. I mean, if you go into your house and you see me with a blanket over my head just standing in your corner of your living room, you're gonna go, what the heck is that?
Deer tracks right here. Not nothing too fancy. We've seen quite a few deer tracks come through here. A lot of doe tracks, and we've seen a few buck tracks, but nothing too fancy.
I think the most massive difference in saddle hunting over stand hunting is that when you're stand hunting, for example, Austin, say you decide that you want to go up and you want to hang a stand on that tree right there. See that bare tree?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So if you set that stand down, that platform's going to be wider than your tree, right? So whenever you go, and you can just stay right there. Okay. Whenever you go, say you want to put a stand right there for some weird reason, like a psycho, and you go to sit down, how much fatter am I than the tree?
I mean, that's a good point.
And the big difference with the saddle is that if you're wearing your saddle right, you look exactly like a tree limb. You look like a Y on the tree. Yeah. Because your feet are facing the base of the tree. You're leaning back with your tether.
That's a good point.
And you look like a Y on the tree. Yeah. And that's why I think the deer, I haven't been looked at, I haven't been blown at. When the wind's right, really, there's a deer don't even know that I'm there. That's crazy. And I'm not a big fan of sitting high. You know that. Yeah. I'll sit around maybe at the highest 9 to 10 feet. Yeah, which is pretty crazy because me personally, I'm a high sitter. Me and Caleb, as close buddies as we are we differentiate a little bit in our hunting styles. You know, just we've grown up different and we've hunted differently for a long time. But that's what makes it interesting being together, because I get to hear his opinion and he gets to hear mine, and we kind of just, it's almost like not necessarily a competition, but it's like a friendly competition. So, you know, during the year he has his opinion and I have mine, and we're doing different things and seeing what works. But somewhere along the season, it never fails, we always meet in the middle and we come to a good conclusion usually about these deer. Saddle hunting, that's going to be my first year. Like I said, I'm excited to try it out, see what it's about. You know, I've seen a lot of people do it, and it's just kind of one of those things. I'm finally gonna try to get into it and be a little more in the modern era, I guess you could say. But once you start saddle hunting, it's so comfortable you won't ever want to hunt another way. Yeah. I mean, I would turn down, me personally, with my setup that I've got and everything tweaked and fine-tuned the way that it is, I'd rather hunt from my saddle than sit in a recliner. All right, we decided that rather than picking back up where we left off at the trucks like we said we would, that we were going to go ahead and foot it over here into the deer woods. We're about a half a mile in now, off a path, and taking a little break. It's hot, guys. It's probably already about 93 today. And doing some scouting. Austin's back over that way yelling something at me, but I'm about half deaf, so I can't hear him. But we're back in some pretty good stuff, real solid stuff. A lot of mature trees up in here, a lot of producing oaks. I guarantee you they'll be using this a lot. There's Austin cutting back through. What'd you find, bud? Gotcha. It's like they had a camera on it at one time, because it's like
it's facing that trail. But that trail comes straight, literally you can see it right here.
Yeah.
Through up there, and then it goes, splits off and goes up that hill right there too. And I mean, it's freshly used. Like, it's, the leaves are beat down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a good spot.
Good camera spot for sure.
100%. I just don't know who's been so close.
Yeah, we shall see. We're gonna check Onyx real quick, make sure that we're not gonna be breaking any laws, and we'll get back with you guys when we find some good sign. So guys, we found us a little bit of a better spot than we were earlier. You know, that place I had looked at earlier ended up being a property marker, so we are going to kind of stray away from that. We don't like to be too close to other people's places, especially if we have, I mean, we have 200 acres here, so you know, we have quite a bit of room. But I was just going to show you a little bit, you know, touch up on earlier. I had said, you know, I love hunting under white oak trees, and I always have the best luck, and I think I found the perfect spot for that. This right here is honestly everything that I could dream of. It's a little thick, but I think I can work with it, especially with this nice easement we got here. It's pretty open down through here. It's not bad, but if you look here, all these white oaks right here, and then you come into this open spot. Places like this is where I've seen the most big deer that I've ever seen. And I mean, not just big deer, but I've seen every deer that's on the property damn near. When it comes to fall season, deer hunting season, this is where they tend to go a lot, especially for food. There's acorns everywhere. That's mainly what they're going to come through here for. And the bigger bucks, they're going to come through here with you know, a little bit more of a mindset of wanting cover, and not only is there cover, but there's also food here, so that makes a pretty perfect deer hunting spot in my opinion. Chad doesn't really like the scrub brush that much. I enjoy it. I like when there's a bunch of little stuff. I feel like it makes the deer feel a little bit more protected and secure whenever it comes to a hunting situation. The good thing about these spots is a lot of times with these big white oaks, excuse me, you don't have to really cut a whole lot of shooting lengths, because I mean, if you get up high enough and you're up there and you're looking down this trail here, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a 10-yard shot, if that, to this point. So I mean, realistically, like, that's what I love about these things, you know. Yeah, definitely. You just can't beat it. For sure. But yeah, we're gonna try and do a little scouting right here and see if we can find a good spot to maybe put a camera up and see what's going on. Get back with you. All right guys, it's Caleb. One of my hopes right here for Austin's spot that he's setting up is, honestly, we stand a really good chance at intersecting a second deer herd from what I see, considering we're on the complete opposite side of the property. I think we've got a really large chance of seeing a second group of deer, and possibly even a second group of bucks. You know, Chad is a little bit more, I guess, braver than I am about pressuring the grounds that he hunts, in the sense that he likes to go in a little bit and get back up in somewhere, as to where I'm like, well, the least amount of movement and the least amount of interaction that I could possibly have with deer is my preferred choice of hunting. So I tend to stick to like transition areas, hunting right on those transition areas, and maybe like a saddle if it's close by the entranceway or anything. But he's gonna have a pretty easy shot to get up here. He's got a road that goes all the way down to an oil lease road that he's going to be able to walk up, so it should make for a quiet getting in and getting set up. Real excited for him to try out the saddle this season. It's going to be a game changer for him. So yeah, we're gonna get a time lapse going, and we'll pick back up from there after we get everything done. So y'all stay tuned. So this right here is a spot that we've set up on a pipeline easement that runs a good ways away, and we like this spot a lot. There's some good deer movement coming through, pretty fresh sign. This right here is an example that deer will do whatever means necessary to, one, take the path of least resistance most of the time,
and 2, they'll travel any little low spot that they can. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's deer tracks all up through there. And those deer are coming through right over here. Austin's spot actually isn't too far away from this, probably about 150 to 250 yards. So we stand a good chance of covering the most ground. There's another real pronounced deer track. We're covering the most ground with the most cams possible also. And we're gonna see what happens. Set up a camera over there. Got a little mineral lick set up. And we're gonna pour some of this liquid attractant on this log. If you guys put your mineral attractant on the ground, I really recommend putting it on a log or something like that. It soaks that mineral up, and those deer will come back and lick at it and paw at it, and they'll actually wind up eating pieces of the log, but they seem to really enjoy it. So I think this will be one of our better spots come right around pre-rut. They ought to tear this spot up pretty good. These deer, they love using this easement back here. My preferred cell cam here are these Wild Game Innovations. Anything that they do cell wise is really solid. They've got that 100 pictures a month for free, and then after that it charges, and they take good quality pictures. Like our channel name, we are indeed the masters of winging it. So
I guess if it's 8, then we know something ate it.
yeah, something will probably enjoy the heck out of it.
I'm sure the 14 raccoons that live here on the property will probably have a field day with that.
I would imagine that they will likely be our first visitors. We're gonna have to do we'll have some trapping videos. I'm gonna wind up getting a couple of traps, and I think Austin said that he's got a couple. So yeah. But anyway, I guess that's gonna conclude the video series for today. I hope y'all enjoyed watching us idiots walk around in the hot woods for a while and setting up some cameras. We'll have some more stuff out, so y'all stay tuned.
Coming next week.
Yeah, podcast coming next weekend. Man, I wish that footage wouldn't have failed. We had a really nice podcast this morning right at sunrise. It was great, but my phone ran out of storage, so I'm gonna have to clear up some storage space and go from there. But we'll catch y'all later, and keep on winging it.